outside is frightful. The fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Parkscope Unprofessional Podcast Hour. My name is Joe. Joining me tonight is Lane. Lane, long time no talk. How's it going?
I'm back. I've traveled the whole world again. It's good to be on the show.
That's good to hear. Also joining us is Nick. Nick, how are you doing?
What's up, Uncle Joey?
I'm hanging in there. Actually, I have, for our festive Christmas episode, because I don't know if we're going to record another one, I have the 12 Dogs of Christmas Ale right here from Thirsty Dog. So, it's delicious. There we go.
Hey,
you didn't get the Joe beer?
No, I did. I got two. I got the Joe IPA and 12 Dogs of Christmas because you need Christmas beer to have during the Christmas episode. So
I'm drinking Christmas beer too.
And also joining us is Sean. Sean, what Christmas beer are you drinking?
Celebration.
Oh, I was thinking about Celebration.
Sweetwater just put out their festival this afternoon, and their pulled pork porter comes out this weekend.
Ooh,
that sounds good. That sounds real good.
Bacon.
I do love Celebration though because I do like my IPAs. They have I think Columbus Brewing has a Christmas IPA that's pretty good. So
Celebration's legit my favorite beer. I think
it's up there. It's really really good. And the best part is they sell it in the giant 32 or 16. Is it the 12 packs? You know, the giant cases.
Yeah, I have 12. Yeah.
It's the best. Okay, so let's start off the show real quick. First, I need to get a sip of some. Everyone, take a sip of your festive beverage right now. Drinking game. Let's start off real quick. SeaWorld is
dying.
Yeah. They just laid off 250 employees, mostly I believe a lot of them were the animal specialists and a lot of the people behind the scenes who kind of do corporate. Their explanation was a lot of these people were redundant or were positions they had open that were never filled. But 250 people were laid off. Additionally, we learned that Antarctica is now only open on weekends. So this is really bizarre and weird and depressing right now. But it just seems like
just the ride, or is that the penguin encounter?
No, the penguin exhibit's open all week, but only the ride's open on weekends.
Well,
yeah,
that's not too big of a loss.
Well, considering how much money they pumped in that thing 3 years ago and promoting it, the fact that it's open only weekends now, that's kind of sad.
I think I don't think SeaWorld is long for this world as its own separate entity.
Yeah,
as an animal park as well.
Yeah, well, that too.
It's fine being a regional park, coaster park kind of thing.
Yeah. So Lane, you wrote in our Orlando Dollywood.
Yeah, that's what I was hinting towards is that people were saying that as a negative thing, but I've been harping that for a year and a half now that SeaWorld just needs to be a local park for some roller coasters and kind of towards the Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
I'd
better
be cool
spot
with
for
that,
them.
but
you got to be cheap and you got to be thrifty. You can't spend a bunch of money on big themed attractions. You got to they did a great job of Mako. Here we're going to make this theme, but here's 2 walls, a pretty roller coaster track, and one small exhibit. And that's the blueprint in order to make that work.
Yeah.
Because then you're not spending the big money, and you can charge $45 to $65, and you have your own spot.
Mm-hmm.
Or $125 AP. It's a good spot for locals to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all we have from SeaWorld right now. Stay tuned for the latest, and please watch all your Craigslist ads for when they sell office furniture. It also seems...
Or marine life animals.
Or, if you want to pick up any dolphins, it's a good time to do that.
Or I might have a penguin.
Penguin. The penguins. I remember I was watching SeaWorld when they brought some penguins to a news office, and just seeing the penguins in the news office made me want an office penguin. They have frat hounds. I want an office penguin. I'm just saying. Okay, so the next thing is Rivers of Light. We've had a temporary kind of thing going on with Rivers of Light. We had a few showings. So probably the best write-up that I can definitely recommend because we like this person, and we think he does good stuff, is Len Testa wrote up a review on the Touring Plans blog of his general thoughts on Rivers of Light, which is basically there's some cool aspects to it, but a lot of it still has problems.
Rivers of Light is Frog Fractions 2.
Probably. It probably is Frog Fractions 2. It's a combination of Frog Fractions 2 and Light Magic.
And Half-Life 3.
And Half-Life 3. And what other games are there? Whatever.
That will never happen.
That'll never happen? Yeah. I don't know. Last Guardian came out yesterday, so I can't say that one.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, right. So what last week Jim Hill, like Jim well, I'm trying to word this very particularly.
Well,
we heard that Rivers of Light is not going to air and that they will be debuting a new show. Now, they're showing the current version of the show.
Next summer or the one that they showed last week?
What they showed last week, here's what Jim said. That Bob Iger basically saw the show and he said, this thing is still bad, but we need something at night at Animal Kingdom when Avatar opens, and we need to recoup some of the money. So they're going to open it summer 2017 with Avatar, and then they're immediately putting into production a new show for the 50th anniversary of Disney World.
Yep.
So,
which
good. Makes sense.
Good on them for not putting out a product that was crappy because they had to put a product out.
Well, they did put a product out that was crappy. They're still putting.
Let's not forget the Jungle Book show.
Well,
that happened.
Well, they're still putting Rivers of Light out though. It's like Bob Iger still said it's not a great show, but we're still going to debut it in 2017.
Neutered Rivers of Light, but
it's not really Rivers of Light.
It was never really connected.
Yeah. Well, no, it still is Rivers of Light. They're not changing it. They may have gotten rid of some of the aspects that didn't work.
You say Rivers of Light. I say Pond of Fungus. Whatever.
Rivers of Light, ponds of candles. Lotus. So that's the current rumor for Rivers of Light is 2017 summer debut, followed by something 2 to 3 years later as a totally brand new show, which I imagine will probably involve characters. What a surprise. Next up, Universal Studios Hollywood all of a sudden got rid of their 3D screens on Forbidden Journey. So they still have the Hollywood version of the film, which is slightly different, but they don't have 3D anymore, and that was pretty much praised by everyone as a good decision.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I think this is a larger emphasis by Universal to possibly start getting rid of those kinds of experiences, maybe.
When it doesn't land.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all we can say there. I think they have a few holiday food offerings there, too, so go check out Inside Universal for that. Also, I think it was last night or Monday night.
It's Monday.
Monday night at Epcot, of all places, because why not? They did a whole big Star Wars celebration announcement thing. So basically, the AWR troopers from Rogue One, that'll mean more in 2 weeks, a week from Friday, along with some of the props from Rogue One will be at the launch bay and around the launch bay. They're going to bring back the Galactic Spectacular, the 16th through the 31st, and they're going to show that along with Jingle Bam or whatever, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
So before we get to the last point of discussion, which I want, we're going to have fun with, the fact that they have to bring this Star Wars show back like at the last minute, just to me says this Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam thing ain't doing too well.
Or they're just trying to promote Rogue One.
That's what I think.
And that's money.
Rogue One doesn't need to be promoted at all.
That's money out of a different budget.
I think what Lane said is straight up. I think the studio's paying them to put it on.
Yeah, they got that call down.
Just like that, they do that thing with the characters where they'll introduce the character for like 6 weeks and then they're gone. I think this is the same thing. They're saying, "Hey, put it back on the Star Wars show, and we'll throw you some cash."
Yeah, maybe. But hey, it was a better show and more better. If there goes my grammar. Better received than Jingle Bam. So That's just my thoughts. Is like, hey, Jingle Bam ain't
Yeah, I
doing too
don't
well,
know.
so might as well throw
Me
another.
and Sean don't really know. We ate fried chicken, so
Yeah, we saw like the tail end of the Star Wars show.
Oh, okay.
we were eating fried chicken instead. No regrets.
Were you guys at 50s prime time?
50s.
Oh,
Yeah,
I haven't been to 50s in
so good.
forever. Damn it.
it's the best.
I haven't been to 50s since like 2001 or 2002. That's how long ago I was there last. Anyway, so the
I think the last few shows, all of Joe's Disney knowledge occurred before 2008.
never
He
mind.
doesn't even know about Plants Direct either.
Yeah, no, I don't. I was just looking at this. I'm like, what are you sending me, Nick? This makes no sense.
Joe, you need to watch some late night TV next time you're in Orlando.
I'm in.
No, Joe doesn't sleep.
I sleep. I just go into theme. I don't watch TV on vacation, and if I do watch TV, it's usually that the resort loop at Disney World or Universal, or I'm on my laptop or something, or I'm never mind. Anyway, so the last announcement. This one is absolutely fantastic, and I need to read this from the Disney Parks blog. A new Star Wars guided tour is also in the works for the ultimate Star Wars fan visiting Disney's Hollywood studios.
Wait, what?
The
I haven't heard this yet. This is great.
The 7-hour guided tour, 7-hour
Yes.
guided tour will be led by a Star Wars, quote unquote, all in the know tour guide that will include a journey on Star Tours, The Adventures Continue, an opportunity to participate in Jedi Training Academy, only for guests ages 4 to 12, a guided exploration of Star Wars Launch Bay, dinner at a quick service restaurant featuring Star Wars themed items. You're going to dinner for this at
Admiral
Backlot
Akbar
Express.
Snack Bar. Admiral Akbar Snack Bar.
You get to go into the Star Wars a Galactic Spectacular dessert party, which is also coming back, of course. Firework viewing and more. It's a 7-hour guided tour in Hollywood studios.
How?
I could do all that in 2.
So like
You can do it and ride all the rides in 4.
So Kendra and Shuck were talking about it, and I brought this up. Like, they may just show one of the movies to like eat up 2 hours of time. Like,
Are you gonna get to ride the Great Movie Ride because they have Star Wars at the end?
I guess they must.
Like-
But even Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, you're gonna get back. You're gonna get like back of the line access to that. You're not gonna wait in line for it.
Right. And there is no line for it ever.
Unless you had like every single version, like they gave you everything. Like you just continuously rode it.
It's just they tie all the segments together. It's like all the segments just back to back to back to back to back to back.
You get all the first segments, you get all them, and you get all the.
Everybody vomits.
Everyone in the thing is the rebel spy. They all get a chance.
You walk in there's like this big industrial fan sitting there behind C-3PO. What's that in here for?
It's a glorious 3.5-hour tribute to all things Star Wars: The Adventures Continue.
How can that be 7 hours long?
It's a 7-hour guided tour. The Keys to the Kingdom tour at the Magic Kingdom is 5 hours long. And you go on tons of rides, and you walk around a much bigger park, and you do much more. You still go on like Pirates and Haunted Mansion and other stuff. You go on more than one ride.
I only went on Haunted Mansion.
Oh, well.
I don't even like to spend 7 hours in a park.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Can we
spend...
talk about this? Team like 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
What?
That seems reasonable.
Well, considering that they're talking about dinner and all this other stuff, I bet you this starts like around 11.
Still, ugh.
Like,
Move on. I'm mad about talking about this. Move on.
Anyway, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, opens in U.S. theaters on December 16th, 2016. There you go.
Yay.
And we didn't even talk about Spaceship Earth turning into the Death Star.
That's our mention of it. It
There's
happened.
nothing to talk about.
There you go.
It happened.
It happened.
It looked like
It's a
shit.
cool laser.
Like the laser was cool, but like it barely looked like the Death Star.
Well, as Brian
Where's
said,
that laser coming from?
the monorail building.
I'm gonna ruin Joe's joke. Brian said they turned a gray thing gray.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They projected a gray thing onto a gray thing. Oh boy. Okay, so
I have a mildly related interjection.
Okay.
Make it in the write-up.
okay.
I follow a lot of college football stuff. Disney heard some rumblings that they might try to spin off ESPN.
Yeah.
Because they're just costing them money right now, and that might need to be its own business.
That would not surprise me.
Well, one of the things that has been talked about a lot is, can Disney continue as its own independent company right now with... I mean, the movies are doing great, but the parks aren't necessarily doing fantastic. ESPN's drowning them. The cable networks are drowning them.
They might start shrinking now that they expanded to get some more different stuff that makes money right now. And all their mature businesses, they might just spin off.
Yeah, so ESPN's...
The parks are easy to fix. They can fix the parks if they really wanted to.
But you got to dump a bunch of money into them.
Yeah, you dump money into them.
Mature.
And then you got to continue to dump money into them over time. Right. And they're going to dump money into it, and then they're going to be done. Try to sit back and just collect money, and that's not going to work.
Which is the fallacy of Fast Pass Plus in my Magic experience. They thought they could just do that and be done.
They're going to get money back. No, that was just an upgrade for upgrade's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You buy a new car to replace your old car.
Yeah, ESPN's going to have to be ESPN.
So
yeah, they need to.
Yeah.
Because ESPN's just going to be an app in 3 years.
So
it's stream, so it's not going to be tied to every single cable provider. It's going to have to be independent like Netflix.
Sell it to the SEC already.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No. Don't sell it to the SEC, please.
Paul Feinbaum training. Feinbaum all day, every day.
Oh, God, kill me. So what I think would be a smart... Well, I think would be smart would be to sell it. If ESPN needs to succeed, I think a good company to buy it would be Amazon.
No, just spin it off. Let it be its own company.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be its own company.
You can play people. They'll have a business model.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You just sell your access to your app.
So, there's that. Also, the other angle coming from ESPN is you have NFL. Well, NFL's not really quite doing it yet, but they will. But MLB already has MLB.TV, and they're trying to get rid of blackout restrictions. So there goes that. MLS has their own app. I think NHL and NBA do too.
Like all of them do, basically.
Well, and you can all buy subscriptions to them. I just don't think the NFL has one because they're going through DirecTV.
No, they have one.
But
you can't buy a subscription.
Yeah,
really?
Just to the audio.
Yeah, you. What I'm saying is you can't buy the $120 package for a year's access to every single game. But
the nice thing about the NFL is the vast majority are on regular network.
Yeah,
a third of them are.
Most, yeah. Like
if you're not in that region, then you play the game.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
and that's where they try to sell you a package, which is dumb and antiquated.
Well, let me put it this way: I can watch the Browns nearly every single week without having a cable subscription.
Starting this weekend,
but I can't watch like the Indians except for like 4 games when they're on like some random channel, like because they're always on Sports Time Ohio, and I have to have cable for that or DirecTV. So, anyway, ESPN spun off, maybe, possibly.
ESPN
Who knows?
Spun off.
Yeah. They're bleeding. Who'd have thought? They were the juggernaut like 10, 15 years ago. They were like that crazy, wow, thank God Eisner bought them kind of thing. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't have good programming.
ESPN.go.com.
Yes. Do you know what? I wish we could get Parkscope.go.com.
Let me look. BRB.
Okay. So, Sean.
Yo.
You went somewhere recently.
I did. I was in Orlando last weekend.
Would you like to talk about that?
I would.
Awesome.
So I got down there Thursday afternoon, and we went to Epcot for the night. Rode Spaceship Earth. Looking good. Looking pretty good.
How's that completed descent?
Yeah. The descent is still bad, but the rest of it looked good. Rode Test Track, which is still very bad. Just a terrible ride.
Unless you have the Ricky Briganti Tron Track audio that you put on your phone and play during it, and then it's pretty funny because the Big Lebowski's talking in your ear the whole time.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he made one that syncs up to everything. So I have it downloaded, and you can play it, and it's just like a bunch of Tron clips and some cool Tron music.
Oh, maybe I'll have to try that next time.
all slung into there. Yeah, you start at the right time, and it basically plays its own audio track. It's fun.
Nice. And then we just did World Showcase stuff. It's holidays around the world, so we saw some of those shows.
Krampus?
No, they don't have. Do they have a Krampus one?
They don't have Krampus. They have Saint Nicholas, but they don't have Krampus.
Yeah. I wish they had
Saint
Krampus.
Nicholas.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Saint Nicholas.
Father Christmas is the best one.
Did you put out your shoes last night, everyone?
Yeah. The UK show is the best with Father Christmas. That's one I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
We also ate at Tutto Gusto, which I've never been in before.
Oh, it's the dream.
Tutto
Yeah, it's
Gusto
pretty
is
good.
great.
Yeah, I liked it.
Tutto Gusto is very good.
Yeah. We had we got one of the small paninis, we got a ravioli dish and a pasta dish, and all three were pretty good. I had a bruschetta martini, which tasted exactly like it. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
Sounds weird. Very good.
With garlic and everything, and
No garlic, but it was
Okay.
like basil-y and tomato-y. It was good.
okay.
They have so many cool real Italians in there you can talk to and hang out with.
Yeah.
That's why my parents are there all the time.
Man.
Jenna wanted to do Frozen, but it was like a 90-minute wait, and that wasn't going to happen.
I got me a Frozen Fast Pass.
Nice. We watched some of NPH doing Candlelight from standing room
Nice.
behind the we didn't get a seat obviously because no way we're waiting in line for 3 hours for that. But so we watched some of that, and then we watched Illuminations, which was the holiday Illuminations is the best. It's so good. Then the next 2 days I was at Universal. The first day, I thought this Christmas stuff started on Friday, but it didn't start till Saturday. But all the decorations were up and the background music was playing. I really like the way the front half of the studios is decorated for Christmas. I think it might be the best decorations that are around now that they don't have Osborne lights anymore. But the back half is completely devoid of any decoration, so it's a really weird juxtaposition that I'm not a huge fan of. The first Simpsons episode was a Christmas episode. Let's get some Simpsons Christmas decorations up, you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really weird. And obviously, I'll always say
But
that
the New York area is awesome.
Oh, the New York and the Hollywood area are both great.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'll always say we need more Potter Christmas decorations because we need more Potter Christmas decorations. Period.
Yep.
But yeah, I mostly rode rides on Friday. Everything I was on was looking good. Kong was working perfectly.
Nice.
Spider-Man looked good. Rode Hulk again and got single ridered into the front row again.
Nice.
So I've been on that ride twice, and twice I've gotten single ridered into the front row. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, so everything looked good park-wise. And then that night, a friend of mine and her husband actually flew into town, and they were there for her 30th birthday. And I met them for drinks at City Walk, and then we went to Antitos for dinner, which Antitos is always quality. I had the chimichanga. That's my go-to there now. I really like it. And then we went to Toothsome for drinks, and I had a chocolate old-fashioned.
Okay,
Whoa,
please.
tell us
Okay,
everything about this.
we're listening.
It was okay. It was
Okay.
It was for theme park and the theme of the restaurant. It was good, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to get again.
It's not something you want to find the recipe for to make at home.
Right.
It's not like a Trader Sam's
Or-
drink where it's I need my
or
Mai
this
Tai.
comes with the disclaimer that a lot of us live in places where you can go to high quality bars with real bartenders making good drinks.
True. That too.
It is if you're not from a place where you can go to places where high quality bartenders are making high quality drinks, that's going to be a really good drink.
Yeah. And I do have to say that night at City Walk, everything was fucking packed. Like we had to sit at the bar for antojitos, or we would have had like a 45-minute wait. And then Toothsome was packed to the gills,
which is impressive because all those things have such big capacity.
Yeah.
Such big walkways, such big capacity.
What time did the parks close, Sean?
7. So we ate at Antijitos at 7, and then we were at Toothsome probably at like 8:15, 8:30, and it was still packed.
Mm-hmm.
Were the parks busy at close time, or were they kind of slowing down? Or
they were slow.
They were slow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious with.
They were slow. I should say they were slow Friday. Saturday it was packed. It was a madhouse on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was crazy because of the locals were.
Yeah.
First day of Grinchmas.
Yeah. Yeah. So Saturday I got up, got to the parks, went to Iowa, went right to Grinchmas.
Had a religious experience.
Yeah, I never saw Grinchmas before. Huh?
Did you meet the talking Grinch?
No, I didn't want to wait in line for the meet and greet.
Oh, it's good too. It's fun.
If Jenna was with me, I would have done it, but being by myself, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw Grinchmas. Grinchmas is fantastic. I think that and holiday illuminations are probably my favorite holiday things in Orlando. Everybody, like, all the performances are great. I love that they actually have Max out there.
Yes, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes.
He doesn't really do anything, but he's awesome.
There's a dog in the show.
He barks like once. And
he's a good dog,
Max.
and that's all that matters.
We Rate Dogs gives him a 12 out of 10. He's a very good dog.
He's a very good dog.
His dog, very good.
So, yeah, that was great. I had a lot of fun with that. And then I will, back to the decorations, I'm disappointed how sparse it is in Iowa, too, outside of Seuss Landing. Like, not even Port of Entry is decorated, outside, like, Garland on the arch, which is kind of disappointing. But
they don't even have a tree. That's the thing that always just...
there's a tree in Seuss Landing.
But they, like...
There's always a tree in Seuss Landing.
But, like, Port of Entry, it ends with like this great open vista that's like the perfect spot to put a big tree right there, and you just make your money off of pictures buying the tree, and it's just like
there should be like a themed tree in each of the like islands.
Yeah, and like the one at the end of Port of Entry should be like all the islands.
Yeah.
Like what's the Confesco that has like all
Confisco?
Yeah. Just like do like all that stuff on that tree, like have the Cat in the Hat's hat and a fossil on there and a wand and just
That's too Disney, man. That's where the magic is.
So yeah, that was Saturday. I did not stick around for Macy's because we were going to Magic Kingdom that night.
Mannheim.
I didn't really care. Well, yeah, I wanted to see Mannheim, but obviously we were going to Magic Kingdom, so
yeah.
So yeah, then we drove over to Kingdom. Which was a freaking madhouse, because the 2 nights before it were party nights that closed at 7, and that night it was open until midnight, so everyone went that day. But it was fine. We had fun. We rode Small World, Mermaid. We did Tiki Room, Country Bears, rode Pirates, Haunted Mansion, and Jingle Cruise. My first time doing Jingle Cruise.
And?
No, my first time ever doing Jingle Cruise, yeah.
No, was it at night or in the day?
It was at night.
Okay.
It's fine. The queue's awesome. I really like the queue.
The queue's the best part with the music.
Yeah, the queue music and the queue decorations are fantastic. I like the skipper Santa hats that all the skippers have.
Oh yeah, those are cute.
I like how the boats are decorated, but the actual ride part, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's fine. Yeah.
Don't fall.
Can I interject?
Sure.
The Jingle Cruise in California was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do this in Florida, but the light on the top of the boat like shined around where you could actually highlight show scenes. And the jokes were good. It felt a lot better.
Yeah, they have a different boat.
And you and I have talked about that The Jungle Cruise there during the day is just kind of.
I don't like their Jungle Cruise very much.
Well, it's elementary. It's not as good. And they cut a portion of it, so it's not as good. But the Jingle Cruise in California was so great and so fun.
Well, that's good.
That would be also worth doing if you get the chance.
Yeah, I had the skipper was fine, and she told the jokes well, but the normal jokes she did really well with, but the Jingle Cruise jokes I was not impressed with. So yeah, it's fine. I like the best part of the on ride is Trader Sam. I really like the way he's dressed up.
Yeah, I like that in the gorillas. The gorillas were
yeah. But Magic Kingdom was looking pretty good. I didn't really see anything that looked out of place. Pirates was especially good. Did that go down for refurb recently?
I think so.
I
don't know. They do a lot of work on it.
Yeah, it looked really good. And there's definitely is a smell there that is new that they added with the drunk guy with the cats.
What? Why would you have a cat smell?
The bourbon smell.
Yeah, it smells like rum.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love rum.
So when we were there in July, me, Mike, and Nick both all thought we smelled it, but we weren't 100% sure. But this time it was turned up to 11, and it definitely smelled. I definitely smelled it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So congrats, whoever Imagineer.
Yeah, whoever came up with that. Good job.
A piece of history. They're like, hey, we got these rum candles towards the boat next to the drunk guy. Will be awesome.
And the Haunted Mansion stretch rooms were finally fixed. I guess they did that in that short refurb that they did.
Yay!
Were they broken?
Yeah, they were awful this entire year.
They were just they hadn't been done since 2008, where they did the directional sound.
Possibly, but there were blown out speakers where you could barely hear the ghost host. And,
okay.
It was really, yeah, it was the walls were creaky, you could hear the mechanism. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, everything was.
You heard the mechanism more than you did the ghost host.
Yeah, so everything was in tip-top shape, so that was good. Yeah, so Magic Kingdom was awesome. I do need to file a formal complaint, though, because the Sunshine Tree Terrace closed an hour before the park, and I did not get my Citrus Swirl.
Oh.
Shame, Magic Kingdom. Shame.
Sell those things 20 minutes after the park closes.
Yeah.
So did you get your Nautilus?
No, I didn't make it to St.
Ooh.
Next trip, January.
Yeah, we wanted to go, but we never really had the time.
There's always the time for Tiki. It's Tiki time.
We picked up some gifts for the girlfriend's niece and nephew. Got a nephew a remote controlled monorail.
Nice.
And we got a Dumbo plush for the niece.
Oh, which one?
The baby Dumbo with the blanket.
Yeah. We just got a Dumbo for Amelia a little bit ago. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I know you and Dumbo.
Yeah, I had to get one.
You and Scarlett, Nick. You and Scarlett.
I love Dumbo.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not hating.
Yeah, he loved his mama. I love my mama. We got something in common.
Exactly.
It's one of the better 65-minute movies ever released.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, still extremely racist in its own unique ways.
But straightforward about it. They're not trying to hide.
Yeah.
The scarecrows, guys. The scarecrows.
It's not really racist. It's just more of a stereotype.
Yeah.
Which
a little bit of a racist.
oh my.
Type.
All right,
Sean. Okay, no, Sean.
Talk about something more fun. You want to hear about my Disneyland?
Yes, we want to hear about your Disneyland trip, Lane.
Oh, I don't know. I've been a lot of places, so we're gonna have to do Disneyland a little quick. We Haunted Mansion Holiday.
We have 20 minutes, so don't worry about it, man.
Holiday's fun.
Well, no, we just got 4 or 5 things to talk about Disneyland. Then we're going to talk about Singapore. So Haunted Mansion Holiday is cool. It is very, very lit. Not like how the kids say it. We turned the regular lights to 40% and the black lights to as high as we'll get them. If you want to see how the Haunted Mansion kind of works, and see how those rooms are all set up, Haunted Mansion Holiday is a great way to do it.
Accurate.
Because a regular Haunted Mansion's dark. I did Phantom Manor, super dark, super scary, super fun. Haunted Mansion Holiday was like a like they turned all the lights on for a dark ride. It made it more like every other dark ride you've ever been on. It made it the best, like, regular dark ride you've ever been on. If that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. If we're gonna put like super high-end Disney dark rides in their own category, this made this the best regular dark ride you've ever been on.
I don't know about that one, but it is super cool.
It made it the best county fair, the best touring show, the best one you've ever been on. Not at a big expensive.
Got it. Okay, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's the best one that's not that bottom. It's the best one that's not Disney tier.
Yeah, I get you.
And that's what I mean by being more lit and the tricks kind of being a little more obvious, or like, the scary pneumatic head poppers in the graveyard had Santa hats on them, and you could like see the Santa hat before it popped. Like, that's what I mean. It was like kitschy fun, but like the coolest, most expensive kitschy fun ever.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's pretty neat.
Very well lit. There's Jack and Zero animatronic that are awesome. The Oogie Boogie animatronic is awesome. Like,
yes.
Those guys have been working on that job for so long, and I bet it's a group of 8 dudes or 8 people. Garner Holt guys that just go in and they're like, okay, we're going to add this year. We're going to add this year. We're going to put all this stuff back in the same way because that's all subbed out. And I think they knocked it out of the park. I think that was so fun. The line was kind of long, so we fast passed it. That was great.
How'd the Hatbox Ghost?
Oh, it was so underwhelming. It's all digital. Like, I was like, oh shit, where's the Hatbox Ghost? Like, this is exciting. I like told Ashley, like, okay, Hatbox Ghost's coming. This is a big deal. And so it's you're coming out of the attic and you're about to dive backwards into the graveyard, where you kind of lean back and roll on your back to go to the graveyard, and it's right there. Like, you can see graveyard, and the Hatbox Ghost is like right there, and you never really sit in front of it because it's so close to the end of the attic scene.
Right.
And it just looks like a TV turning on and off. It's like, man, and it does like a little whoop, whoop, like a little zippy head moving animation to move it around, and they left it for this version. But I was like, okay, it could be so cool, but it is not practical really at all. And then I fell into a really cool practical effect, which was Jack and Zero, and the graveyard was cool because they had scrims over, like, in between you and all the sets, so they could do projection stuff. So they projected snow and projected ghosts onto scrims on both sides of the graveyard scene.
Yeah, it's neat.
All the way to the ceiling. So, like, right out of your reach.
Lane?
Did you hear about my scrims?
A little bit.
Okay.
You kind of went out, so I was just like, oh no, please no.
They have big scrims in the graveyard that they project stuff on.
Big scrims, you can't deny.
In between you and the old show sets.
Yes.
It kind of ruins the old show sets, but that's what you're there for. It's a fun time. You take it as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the World of Color show that was very, very fun.
That World of Color show looks amazing.
The holiday one was very fun. It was the first time in probably 10 years, like me following Disney pretty close, that they made a show that wasn't just the same 10 songs of Disney with some stuff in the background. Like, they used Christmas songs, and they used, family seasonal songs, and they, did the heartfelt montage, but that was only a portion of it. They didn't pull from the same one that they pulled for everything, and it didn't just feel like PhilharMagic on Wishes on PhilharMagic. And I liked that about that show. They did the cool floaty snow effect that you see, where they they basically just not 3D print, but they just have floaty light foam stuff, and they send it through a stencil, and they shot a bunch of hearts in the air. I don't know. I like World of Color a lot.
Yeah,
I don't have anything bad to say
that new Christmas show is amazing. Like, If you haven't seen any clips of it yet, you have to, because they have a whole segment with from the Goofy movie, and it's set to Trans-Siberian Orchestra's that one Christmas song they always do for like all the light shows. They have that, and that's where they have the fire and everything. That was, oh my god, that's so good.
Oh, the fire was quite plentiful. Like, since the Pirates tag, this was the most plentiful I've seen fire in that show. That was such a good time. We did Napa Rose and Carthay.
Oh, yes.
And I ate legitimate 2-hour, very expensive sit-down dinners both of those nights, and it was so fun.
Napa Rose is one of the best restaurants I've ever been to in my life. It's fantastic.
It was good. Carthay, I think, was better.
Wow.
This trip, just from what we ate,
Okay.
and stuff. We sat upstairs in one of the upstairs kind of side rooms, and it was very good. Very good wine, very good cocktails, very, very good food. If you're a group of adults going to Disneyland, you like eating out, I would circle those two and not make any questions or excuses about it. The races were really, really fun. That was my favorite half marathon I've done with Disney in a long time.
Which one was
They
it?
did a very good job. Avengers races.
Okay.
So if you get a chance to go do those, they were really fun. The course was great. It was basically the Disneyland half course. You got to go through the stadium, which was fun, mostly flat. Like, it's a very good entry-level course, a very good entry-level race for running half marathons. They had the block of cosplay people. So they had this at both Star Warses. The Star Wars that I did in Orlando in April, and this course as well, they just send out to local cosplay groups and say, hey, you want to come? And there was just 30 of them. So I have a selfie with Deadpool because he was just hanging out in the middle of the street. And I was like, selfie, Mr. Pool? And he was like, hell yeah. So I took a picture with him, and he smiled, and then he held a finger pistol to his head as we took the picture. And I was like,
Nice.
This is really fun. I'm really happy about this Avengers race. So cheers to you, random California Deadpool cosplayer. You made my afternoon. And I PR'd my 4-year goal that day. Very exciting. And I dropped again.
Nope, you're there.
No, you're still good.
Still riding. Disneyland's awesome. So, Ashley's best friend lives in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the opportunity to go Thanksgiving week out to Singapore. A little pre-planning advice. It's going to cost, I live on the East Coast, it's going to cost about 3 times as much as it costs for you to get to California for you to get to Singapore. I took a 14-hour direct flight from Atlanta to Tokyo. Cool that I know that exists for whenever I want to go to Tokyo. And then it was a 7-hour flight from Tokyo to Singapore.
Oh my god.
It is currently 13 hours difference. So your days and nights are entirely flipped. And that was very fun. It's a very tropical place. And, I've been describing it to people as, imagine if you put the city of Chicago with a cleaner subway system and Asian people in Costa Rica.
Okay.
City, it's still a tropical forest. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Just telling you how to get there, because I like when I read about international stuff, I like for them to be like, okay, I budgeted about this much. This is how much time it takes. This is how you're going to get there. I like reading that in the first paragraph in International Trip Report. That being said, there's a Universal Studios in Singapore. It is located on Sentosa Island, which is on the other side of this shipping port. So they basically just made the mix between a Las Vegas resort and Disney World and Universal Studios all on this island.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a monorail from the middle of town. You can buy it with their public transport. Cleanest subway ever. Nicest, safest place I've ever been. No questions asked. It was great.
You need to go to Tokyo, man.
You take the monorail directly into Sentosa, and we stayed on Sentosa for 2 whole days because they have beaches and kind of nice resorts, and they have a casino. It's very fun place to hang out. But I made sure I wanted to go to Universal Studios for a whole day. Knowing the park was small, we kind of just took our time, got in there easy. Bought tickets online ahead of time. And there's 4 or 5 different places to buy tickets, so just make sure you get there early enough, or go ahead and just buy them. Plan on buying them at the gate. You walk in, and it feels like City Walk meets Las Vegas Casino. I'll say that again. Everything's outdoor but covered because they have weird rain. And this is before you even still get into the park. The globe is before you get into the park. Very fun. I took some very silly pictures in front of said globe. And now we'll just go through my pictures and tell you all the things I rode and how much fun it was.
So how great is Spaghetti Space Chase?
Oh, Spaghetti Space Chase is the Mark Diva-ist of rides I've ever Diva'd on. I rode it, and I leaned over to Ashton, and I was like, Diva would love this so much. And he saw right through, and he was like, oh my god, I love this so much. It was about 90 degrees and super humid the day we went. Their Main Street, Hollywood Boulevard kind of thing is covered. Now, this is the 4th studio park I've been to this year. So they all kind of blend together because everything looks the same. And the last one I was at was Walt Disney Studios in Paris. Mm-hmm. And it was so weird because their Hollywood Boulevard kind of main stretch is in a warehouse. Like a theme, like a soundstage warehouse. Yeah. So it's black.
Oh, you're talking about Paris?
Yes. Yeah. Studios Park in Paris. The entrance is like a show scene of this, and DHS is pretty close and pretty, and then Universal has 2 sets of main strips, or Universal Florida has 2 sets of main strips, but they still had a Brown Derby hat shop, and they still had a Five and Dime, and they still had kind of a old Emporium. They all look the same. It's so silly that that's something that's landed. Spaghetti Space Chase is a phenomenal dark ride experience. I highly suggest watching the YouTube video, and I might suggest flying to Singapore to ride this ride. It is so wonderful and silly. It's almost all practical with a few shadow gags and a few TVs. There's a lot of kind of primitive animatronics in it, and that makes it great. Continuing right, so that's in...
There's a lot of Grover, correct?
Yeah, it's Grover, yes. But it's Grover
the best.
And Elmo.
Well, not the best, then. Grover's the best.
Yeah, but there's... Cookie Monster was there, Oscar the Grouch was there, Big Bird is so weird. There was a Snuffleupagus. So
yes!
There was there's nothing wrong with this ride at all. Hollywood Boulevard's pretty cool. It says they have a theater. All right, so then you hook a right and you head down to New York. And this is the place where we had lunch, and it's called Louis' New York Pizza Parlor. And it's a pizza place that's set like a New York pizza place, but it also looks Italian. So it's a little like, Joe, the Italian restaurant at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Oh.
So it's like stereotypical Italian New York all at the same time. I was but I was in Singapore eating very, very bad New York style Italian pizza. It was 4 different degrees of separation for what was actually happening. Mm-hmm. So New York is covered by the kind of Tokyo Main Street facade, or Tokyo Main Street cover thing. And they have a ride called Lights, Camera, Action, hosted by Steven Spielberg. And one of the popular, design companies did this, and it was like a stunt show, but all wind and rain and fire. So you just
it's kind of like their Twister, isn't it?
Correct. So it was very, very similar to Twister in that they just lit stuff on fire and spun things around, and then a big ship crashes in the building.
But instead of Bill Paxton, it's Steven Spielberg.
It is Steven Spielberg. So that was pretty cool. Space Chase was glorious, and that was a newer ride. Sci-Fi City had a scrambler a teacup ride called Accelerator, which we did ride, but ours didn't spin. This is where it was weird because we were just sitting there half spin. You couldn't spin it more.
Basically, they copied the Storm ride and put it over.
Yeah, and it looks the exact same as that too. It's got plugs and it looks like Storm Force Accelerator, except this is called Accelerator. It's the same ride. Then there's the Battlestar Galactica dueling coaster, which I've done a lot of research on since I went, and it was closed for 3 years because it just kind of beat itself up.
Yep.
So they basically took the same
seats
cars.
Literally fell off of it.
They took the same cars and they just made them 2 wide, the seated and the inverted, and they played it. So we rode the seated first, which was the human side. And the human side, it doesn't appear as if you interact with the other chair at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. No, that might have been... No, that was the Cylon side. So the Cylon side was first, and it had a lot of inversions. It was an inverted to begin with, but again, too wide, so it was loading very slowly, and some really apathetic ride ops, like real apathetic. And that was fun. It had a bunch of inversions. You're like, okay, that was a roller coaster, and then you come back, and I rode the human side, and the human side was super intense. It pulled a lot of G's. I grayed out a little bit, and you're chasing. That's the blue train, or the blue. I don't remember colors. The human side, the seated side, was chasing the other side the whole time. So you could watch it, and when one would act, the other one would react. So it made sense that you weren't seeing both trains. It didn't feel like it was dueling for the first one. But when I rode the second one, they were dueling the entire time, and it was fun. But that ride was super intense, and you did have to take beyond everything out of your pockets. They had wands out, and they were making you take coins and phones and stuff out. For the dueler, the water wasn't working underneath it, but it was still a cool ride, and it was kind of long for how short it looked. I rode Transformers there. This is the original Transformers, and the ride was a little slower. I bet it was a different version of the projectors.
Yes, it is.
The animatronic at the end, or the Megatron seemed more extensive.
Okay.
In Florida, I feel like it's just a head.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a head and a body that went from where the head sits on the one we're used to riding all the way to the screen.
Oh, there's a body in the Orlando's.
But sucked up in the ceiling. I don't know. It seemed very big.
Okay.
And that was the ride that they made Optimus Prime for? Or did they make a Megatron for? And they chopped it up. They're like, this is only going to run 2 hours a day, not 15. Their Transformers was awesome. I did buy the one-time ride Express Pass, and it was totally worth it. Because we just did one lap. Then I went across the park and rode Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Because I followed the history of it, kind of when it was coming up, and there was a bunch of bad stuff that happened around it.
That's a weird ride.
They had to re-engineer the whole thing. So it's not a weird ride as it sits today. As it sits today, it's an over-engineered Splash Mountain boat, like a heavy-duty, like a Shoot the Chutes, like Jurassic Park in Orlando. A heavy-duty, well-engineered, like a very heavy boat with heavy restraints. And it just floats through a bunch of scenes. And I was like, to the point where it didn't even have a build. Like, it was like, calm.
Because it was all cut out.
Calm, build, over. And you're like, that was the whole ride? Very well-designed land. They have a really cool carousel that goes with it.
Yeah.
And it was cool, because of my personal history following it, but man, that could have been so much cooler than it actually ended up. It was kind of a lot of AAs, a lot of good screens, and a lot of good puppet gag. I think it's a good model for what rides are going to be, or a good model for what rides are right now. It might be it's a very good model for rides as they sit, 2010 to 2020. Like, here's a few good AAs you're gonna see, and here's some shadow gag and some videos behind it to get it more like the movie. So then we walk from there. There is a mega castle from far away land, and it's awesome. Like, it's so big. Like, I have a lot of big, pretty pictures of it. But man, it just has the Shrek Theater and Donkey Ride. And to the point where it was me and my wife and another one of our friends, and she was like, "Hey, what's in there? Like, that looks pretty fun." And I was like, "Actually, it's just the show. You can watch it on Netflix on your phone as you're waiting in line to watch another show." I didn't stay for Donkey Live. I did ride the Enchanted Airways Steel Junior roller coaster. Got to get them credits.
Did you ride Puss in Boots?
I rode Puss in Boots, and holy crap, it's awesome. So it's not like what we thought it was going to be. It's not like the Magical Kid ride in Germany. It is very much a straightforward suspended roller coaster, but the lift hill is in this circular turret, and it has this big egg beater machine to do this not vertical, but it's like a spiral staircase machine egg beater. Oh, it's awesome. It's such a cool ride. It's like, just from the engineering aspect alone, it was so cool watching that thing go up. I think it had onboard audio. The cars are very, very well designed. There was a lot of dancing cats. If you're into dancing cats...
Well, it is Puss in Boots. So
disco dancing cats, there was a lot of them. A very evil goose egg thing. And then we did eat. We also ate some Ben and Jerry's in one of the spaces there because they had ice cream and it was delicious. Our next stop is, I want to say, the Mummy. Guys, guys, we need to talk about this Mummy.
Okay, we're talking about it.
It's the best.
Okay.
Undisputed best of bestest. It was nice. You could tell that they made the one in Orlando, and they were like, here's the stuff we're not going to do because it looks old.
None of this shit makes sense.
Well, no, nothing makes sense. But they just made it big and cool, and that's what I like about it. They didn't try to have a movie. It was like, oh, ancient Egypt. Like, you're walking through ancient Egypt. Oh, look, here's a mummy. That's fine. Like, the dude in the Steven Spielberg hat didn't come out of the tomb to talk to me, and then another tomb came up.
It's a trap.
Or, like, the fake ride ending was actually scary because they didn't go, hey, look, it's a ride ending. Just kidding, it's not. It was like, I'm scary. I was like, oh, this is really fun. Like, it was dark. It was fun. The ride was pretty smooth and pretty scary. I want to say the same layout. I felt... But
I think it's the same layout as
the big
Orlando.
rock and roller coaster glowing things. I don't know a better way to describe them.
The cutouts?
The cutouts and stuff were better, more well lit. The second scene was better. They didn't do the bugs the same way the other ride did, and they didn't do the mouth eating on the top of the launch like the other one did. But it was better all around. It was better all around. Also, they sell coconut water in coconuts and water in bags. Not as relevant, but Singapore and Asia is a different place. They had a mini car ride called Treasure Hunters, but I didn't ride it. It wasn't on my express pass. Canopy Flyer, there was a maximum height.
Really?
Like a jerk. Yes.
Huh.
And Lane's a big boy, so...
No. It's a 4-seater, so it didn't have express.
Okay.
That's what it was. You could ride it. I wasn't going to wait an hour and a half to do it. We were saving Jurassic Park to the end, but this was my first experience with Waterworld, and boy, it was good. I had a blast the entire time. It was so fun. Such a good stunt show. There's a hot chick. There's a bunch of just spraying water and fire at each other. There's a lot of boats. I really like boats. The villain looks like he looks like the Dean from Parks and Rec with an evil villain coat. Like, what's not to love about this show? I haven't seen the movie, but I imagine it's as fun as the show.
No, it's not.
No, the movie's terrible.
It has to be. It was really fun. We sat right behind the soak zone. So before the show, there were dudes with buckets and squirt guns just like lighting everyone in the soak zone up with water.
Yeah, they do that in Hollywood also.
You're sitting in the front row, right? And he was like, yeah, I know I'm sitting in the front row. And then like one guy would just try and the other guy would just dump a bucket over this kid's head. I was like, oh, this is so funny. And then the show was good. It was fun and it was long. And they had a bunch of scaffolding and stuff. And I saw Ka at Las Vegas. And it was kind of like that. Just like, hey, everybody's everywhere. Who's up here? Who's over there? Did that person just die? What's the hot chick doing? It was like a physical test. Like, everybody had to be super strong and wear these gloves. Because they climbed up and down these rope ladders all day long. I have nothing but good things to say about Waterworld. And let's talk about the closer, I think. Yeah, we'll close it up. Jurassic Park. River Rapids Raft System. This is my first time going on a River Rapids Raft System since our Gold Coast injuries. And it was fine. Not that bad, not that scary. It was a flexible boat. I don't know if I've ever been on one where there were 3 segments and they all kind of bended separately.
Really?
Yeah, we paid for, this was not a paid for, this was not a free locker, but it was well worth a credit card swipe to go, nope, if I get soaking wet, it's okay right now. But like there were 3 separate compartments, basically like little pie chunks.
Huh.
They all moved separately but connected by the bottom rubber base. So the water would...
The one at Valdosta, what's that park down in Valdosta Lane?
It's
Wild like
Adventures?
that. Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Huh.
I imagine it's there's only a few ways to do this, but this one was cool because it could go up and down the conveyor belt at the beginning, and it could mold to the load and unload platform. We got very wet. The water came over the sides, came into our little triangle quadrant. So the girls' shoes got entirely soaked. Like you're getting it soaked. But this was like jumping in water wet.
So like Popeye.
I've stayed dry on Popeye, and there was no option.
I call bullshit on that.
Okay, I've stayed stuff in my pockets not get wet on Popeye. Or the Ziploc bag survived. I still have a
Ziploc bag survived.
I need to work on that. So it's got a slow part where you ride through stuff. Wish there were more dinosaurs. Wish there were more show scenes. But the good thing about River Raft is that you don't have to have show scenes once it gets fun. And they had a pretty good long section of River Raft. And that was very, very enjoyable. And then you got to the Q House, and I was expecting a regular lift hill and a regular drop. Nope. Just kidding. No regular lift, no regular drop. You go bump into a wall, and you're looking and going, we're going straight up, aren't we? Straight up is what's about to happen. And you sit there, and you look around, and you look around, and you look up, and the unlit, very large T-Rex is right above you. and it brings you up super slow, like stretching room slow, all the way to the top of this. And then they light him up, and you know he's just about to do just his big old T-Rex face dive into your boat. And it was like look away scary. It was very scary, very fun. So that was crazy. You did this like vertical lift hill straight up into a lit up T-Rex.
Very nice.
If you can find a video of it, it would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then it drops you back down, and that was Universal Studios Singapore.
Cool.
From my experience, very hot, very humid. If you're in Malaysia or Singapore, I would suggest going if you're a theme park fan. It was a familiar experience while still being new and different enough. It was crowded the day I was there because school was out.
Mm-hmm.
Around there because it's their end of school year, start of a new school year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like December 1st to January 1st.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because that's their summer break.
Yes. Okay.
So if you have any questions, you can add me, Parkscope Lane. I will answer all of your trip planning questions as related to Singapore. This doesn't change any of the rest of my plans to go see the rest of the world. If I was in Asia, I might not go back to this. Unlike the next time I'm in Europe, where I will be going to Disneyland Paris.
Mm-hmm.
The next time I set foot on the continent, I will be spending a weekend at Disneyland Paris.
Cool.
Well, you discovered that drinking in Paris plan, so you gotta go try that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to double tap, and reading a few Bricker stuff too, where like, no, they were just 3/4 of the way done with all these renovations. It's where when Sean saw it was like crap, and when I saw it was 3/4 really pretty, and there was still some stuff where like that day I rode through Pirates in Paris, like half the stuff was just dark in there.
Oh, I love Pirates.
Paris Pirates is fly.
Yeah.
It's real good. It's got a lot of weird levels. Oh, it's so good. Paris is awesome.
Cool. Well, we have a few questions, so let's go through them real quick, and then we'll end the show because I want to get Nick to bed. Unless you want to go to bed, Nick.
Nah, let's do questions.
Okay, questions. Okay, first question comes from Kevin Koritowski, I want to say. Yeah, Koritowski8 on Twitter. He asks, does Nintendo fit the overall theme of Universal Studios Florida, or would it be better best served for the next park? He says fourth park, or third park, however you look at it. And let the kid area be a movie related.
Don't care, as long as it happens.
Yeah, it fits. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, aesthetically, especially being next to Simpsons, it's fine.
It's
Okay.
entertainment.
Yes.
It should be correction. As I said on Twitter this weekend, Nintendo should be in all 3 parks.
Good point.
Mario and Donkey Kong in Studios, Zelda replaces Lost Continent, Pokemon in Park 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what it should be.
Yep. Zach Z says, do you see Disney ever bringing back a version of Osborne Lights?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's too much money to be made. They're gonna
People book trips to see that. They don't.
Mhm.
I think it will be back next year.
Yeah, I
Where are they
think.
going to put it?
I don't know. They'll find somewhere.
I thought they were going to do it at Springs this year.
Nah, because that's not
They can't make money
monetizable.
off of that. Yeah.
So instead, they got Intel to buy some late drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is actually
I think-
the next question from Zach C.
Yeah.
He asks, how would you like to see the drone technology used in a future nighttime show?
I haven't seen the whatever it is at Disney Springs.
It's just lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
drones on lights. So it's the equivalent of us programming multicolored lights on a bed frame and sitting it vertical, and us going into a computer program and saying green, blue, red, green, blue,
Yeah.
It's just,
But-
I mean,
in designs in the air.
when you mix that with the projections and the fireworks, though, you got something.
Would it mix with the fireworks though?
Yeah, fireworks
You
are
could do
high.
them not on top of each other.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
it would be a good mixture for a Rivers of Light replacement.
But you couldn't put fireworks for Rivers of Light
That's
replacement.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Next up, Jaden asks, have any of you been to the Six Flags, Hershend, or Cedar Fair holiday events yet? I haven't. Lane?
I have not. I probably should. I do. Hershend does all the Six Flags stuff in Atlanta, and I would like to go to that. And I think I am going to go to Dollywood for Christmas time.
Cool.
So I will report back on that when it occurs.
Nice.
Christmas in the Smokies.
Awesome. Next comes from Nick 2014 asks, why does Disney World and Disneyland share the electrical parade? Can't one of them create a new nighttime parade?
So,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have a half answer.
Disneyland did.
Well, they have
They
paint,
did.
but Paint the Night
and it
needs a
was too
refurbishment.
expensive.
They need a refurbishment on Paint the Night, and then they needed to refurbish Main Street Electrical Parade, and Disneyland paid for that refurbishment, so they
get it.
so they get to run it. So that's why. Lane, what were you going to
think
say?
Disney World's going to get the lighter, more run-worthy version of Paint the Night?
Probably for the 50th.
Yeah.
Okay. Same floats or new floats?
Depends. Too early to tell.
Bring back Spectro.
Spectro Magic.
Spectrum Magic is like
a
I've
million stars.
I got bad news.
That's fine. How about we get Paint the Spectro Magic?
Build a new Spectro.
Oh, new Spectro.
Build a new
Paint
one. That
the
wouldn't be
Spectro
bad.
Magic.
All the Baroque downs.
Next
Doing
one.
it up.
Next
Doing it
one
up.
is from In the Loop Legend. Asks if Universal Orlando were to add a new seasonal event to its repertoire, such as Halloween Horror Nights or Mardi Gras, what would you like it to be?
Food and Wine Festival.
Would
Spring.
a more expanded Christmas celebration count?
No.
No.
No, they don't have enough time. They sell.
Yeah, they really don't.
They
sell
do a
enough
lot
stuff.
at Christmas. If they
Their
just
only
would make
downtime is between the first of the year and spring break, and they do Mardi Gras from
March.
February 1st to summer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd like to see them do more with like actual like the Potter thing's cool. I'd like to see them do more small things like that. Like maybe I know the Fast and Furious ride's gonna suck, but maybe down the line do like a Fast and Furious weekend or something like that.
Oh wait.
I can drink Coronas.
I got
But
it.
no, but I mean like have some of the stars show up for like a week and stuff like
What?
that.
What
The
was
Fast and Furious, My Family Reunion.
No, what was the So you had the Frozen guy that was
Josh Gad.
and the Heat Meister and the Froze Miser or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Do that in January. Have
Maybe
one
New
part
Year?
Yeah, do one part for the heat miser and one for the froze miser.
Wait. What about a festival all dedicated to Leap Day Williams?
Leap Day William.
I'd be okay with that.
Leap Day William. It would
Every
be such
4
a
years.
Your wonderful joke.
Next question comes from Aaron Albert. Asks, would a permanent Grinch attraction work? Sorry, would a permanent Grinch attraction work?
Oh yeah.
How would you make it
Oh, yeah.
appropriate for year-round riding? Well, I mean, the big rumor always was that Mount Crumpet coaster.
Yeah, like a Mount Crumpet kiddie coaster.
Mhm.
Crumpet to crumpet.
Yep.
Or just replace the existing dark ride they have.
Yeah.
I mean,
It needs a hug.
Yeah.
the Grinch is a timeless story that it doesn't matter what time of year, it'll go over.
It's better than Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Now, if people know more about the Grinch than they do the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Grinch is the number one Seuss character.
Okay. Well, next question comes from Zach Z again. He asks, do you see Universal expanding the Potter event? And if so, how would you like to see him go about do it?
Yule Ball.
Yule Ball.
Maybe
The Great
issue
Feast.
is-
Great Feast dinners.
the issue is they would have to do like what Star Wars weekends did and spread out the actors.
Yeah.
And I think they'd rather have everyone come for a week than spread them out.
Unless they did like a Harry Potter weekend and then a Fantastic Beasts weekend.
Well, yeah, they could
No,
do
you
that.
still don't want to divide.
They can mix them up though. They have two pools now to pull from, basically.
I think it's the same pool.
Okay. Now, our last
Thank you.
question of the night, and a perfectly appropriate question, because this may be our last episode for before the holidays, because stuff's going to get real. OU Mockinjay asks, what are your unique holiday traditions that you do every year for the holidays?
Is this theme park related?
Nope, not theme park related. Just what are your traditions, and unique stuff you do for the holidays every year? I'll start off real quick. My family does the 7 fishes. So on Christmas Eve, we make 7 fishes. Well, we use the term fish very liberally to mean anything in the water. So shrimp and crabs and oysters and mollusks are acceptable. And we have them as appetizers and for entrees. And we
he
have
texts you 7 million pictures of different fishes.
Oh, they're so good. I mean, you got anchovy spaghetti, you got salmon, you have shrimp cocktail, you have fried oysters, you got all your good stuff. Fried cod, you have your perch from Lake Erie, all the good stuff. What are your guys' traditions?
We try to do atypical stuff. So for one family party, we eat like hot wings and pizza, and another one we do barbecue, and then another one we have cheeseburgers after church on Christmas Eve, and like half of the church goes to this one cheeseburger joint all together. It's a good time.
That sounds good.
I hit up my dad's side of the family the weekend before. My one aunt is like an incredible cook, and she makes too much food, and we all get stuffed and just hang around and drink. And then Christmas Eve's at my mom's. We just do like pizza and stuff like that. Nothing fancy. And then Christmas used to be my dad's side of the family, and now we just kind of hang out and do nothing, which I prefer.
I can understand that.
Got to play with all my toys.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
Jennifer and me have a tradition of we each buy each other an ornament every year for our tree. So we do a thing with that, and we rotate. So like this year is Thanksgiving with her family and Christmas with my family, because her family's 5 hours from where we live. My family's about an hour, so we kind of rotate. But we try to it kind of depends on where we are, but one thing that's kind of consistent between both of us is that we always read the traditional Christmas story from either Matthew or Luke. We rotate years with the whole family. So if we're with my family, it's like my aunts and my uncles and my grandparents and everybody, and we all read it together. And then if we're up there with her family, we still do that too. I've kind of brought that with me up there, and they've embraced it too. So that's kind of like our big tradition.
Cool. Well, that's about it for tonight's show. Yeah, I guess it's going to be, I mean, next week may be busy, the week after may be busy, but yeah, it's going to get crazy.
How much theme park news is going to come out?
Yeah, and we're all going to be traveling and busy, so I don't know.
Next week's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on with my life over the next month, so
yeah,
you guys know what's going on, so I'm like, well, whatever. But yeah, this is probably our last episode before the holidays, so all of our listeners, thank you very much. I hope you guys all have a happy holidays. Hope it's all safe and wonderful. And Lane, where can we find you at online?
At Parkscope Lane on the Twitters.
Cool, Nick.
I'm also on the Twitters at Parkscope Nick.
And Sean, you don't want anyone to follow you, so don't follow Sean.
You can find me in the deepest, darkest quarters of the imagination.
There you go. I thought you were going to go with a Phantasmic quote there for a second.
No.
I thought it was, okay, there you go.
No, that's from Tower of Terror, bro.
Yeah, I know, but I thought they kind of did something similar with Phantasmic.
Tower of Terror's dead. Long live Guardians.
You can find Joe running from Krampus.
Yeah, you can. No, I got chocolate in my shoe last night. I'm good, boy. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was in the parks this week, I was like, man, I wish they kept the Krampus house around.
That'd have been good.
They should have.
Yeah. That's something I did not include in the news this week because it was kind of minor, but they are doing that queueless ride system test for Shrek this week. So anyway, on behalf of everybody, have a happy holidays. We'll see you guys very soon, hopefully in the new year. And
love everybody. Hate everything. Congo.
Ding 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 ding.
But remember the kids who got nothing while you're drinking down your wine. Father Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. Father Father Christmas, please hand it over. We'll beat you up, so don't make us annoyed.